Yesterday, I was talking to a friend and he has a vision for how he's building a business. And something that really resonated with me was he said, stop posturing, stop trying to put on a facade of who you're not. Stop lying to yourself. If you want to build a business that is going to be the business of your dream, that is going to help you lead the life of your dreams, you have to get honest with yourself. You have to actually reflect on what went well last year, what actually held you back, what's actually not serving you that you think was helping you at one point. There are things that serve me that no longer serve me in this new chapter of my growth, my journey. This year is going to be different. I think that's something we repeat to ourselves. You might have had a decent year. We had some agency owners double, triple their revenue with us. They brought on team members. They were able to go on vacations, buy a house, get married, all these great things. And reflecting on your last year, was it as great as you could have made it if you were more intentional about your growth? And so this video is all about helping you set intention and take inventory of where you're at and set proper goals of where you want to be. Actually write down the challenges that you're facing. Actually acknowledge what didn't go well, what your weaknesses are. AI is coming for all of our jobs. I think we can all agree. At some point, AI is going to replace something we do. And the question is, are you adopting AI? So we recently did a workshop for our mastermind community called Ignite to help them get clarity and focus on how they're going to be building this year. And we're going to do something we've never done before. We're going to give this workshop to you. This is something that they've invested a lot to get access to, and we're going to give this for free to you so you can build more intentionally this year and start building the business of your dream. A business that serves you so you can work on the business, not in the business, so the business can serve you and you're not just serving your clients day in and day out. So if you want to be intentional about changing the trajectory of your business and not have this year be the best year yet, hopefully, but this year for sure be the best year yet, then take the time to go through this workshop, fill out the worksheet, and make sure you pay attention. We're going to be giving away something, a little Easter egg throughout this workshop. It's going to be a freebie on us. It's going to be tremendous value to help you lock in this year.
Welcome to this monthly mastermind. It's, almost New Year's Eve, and wishing everyone an exciting new year. And obviously 2025 was one for the books for me, for us, and hopefully for everyone here on this call. If not, we're going to make this next year your best one yet. We're going to help you reignite your passion, reclaim your why, help you eliminate the noise and lock down on the mission that you have in front of you. Because really, let's build a life of your dreams. Why not? And so before, strategy, before setting out goals, before, 2026, I think it's very important for us to find and seek the truth, because clarity beats motivation every time. Like, you can have all the motivation in the world, but if you don't know where you're running, you don't know where you're going, you don't know what summit you're trying to climb, you're just going to be like in a maze of, and I've personally felt like that even at times this year. And it really helps me personally when I write things down and when I take inventory of where I'm at, so I understand where I want to go. And so hopefully today's workshop allows you to get a lot more clarity on where you can take your business this year and how we can support, because we understand what your version of the truth is as well. So something I've learned over the years is life, business, it's a reflection of us. Like, what we put out is what we get back. When my clients are feeling shitty and bitching at me, and I'm in a bad mood, and I potentially talk to my team, like, then I get upset that they're underperforming or doing X, Y, and Z. It's all a reflection of us, who we choose to keep on a team, what clients we choose to continue to work with. It's all a reflection of our choices. And so if you're unfocused, your business, your life, your team, probably a little unfocused as well. If you're tired, your life is sluggish. If you're drifting, your business is leaking opportunity. So you don't fix 2026 by doing more necessarily. You fix it by showing up a little bit differently. Don says it really well. Nothing changes, nothing changes. It's such a simple concept, but I think changing is the hardest part. So I think how we change is we start with the truth, and then we take the action to change things up. So here's a QR code if you want to do it on your phone. Don't advise you drive and do this. Definitely not a drive-friendly type activity. So just save it for later when you're in front of a desktop. But for agency owners that are at your desk, in front of your desk, I also dropped the type form the form that you could be filling out for this audit inside the actual chat. Don, can you confirm that everyone's getting it? If you can access it, just give it a thumbs up or let us know.
Yeah, it's good.
Should
It's
be good to go.
functioning.
Yep.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. So I know you guys are all partnered with us because you want to grow and scale your agency. So we're going to start off with the business audit, and then we're going to transition into a life audit as well as like an energy audit for everyone here. So just take some time to fill out the intro, like your name, your email, phone number, just so we have tracking on each form fill out. And this is some more basic stuff, but I want everyone to just be thoughtful about your revenue goals. People sometimes say it's not about revenue. Well, it is. You know, revenue allows you to create more margin, allows you to create more profitability. You know, if I increase my profits percentage wise by 5% on $1 million of revenue, it's 50K. You know, revenue is important because it gives you more clay to mold. Obviously, it can, you know, like hurt you if you have too much bad revenue, you know, from cheap agents that are barely paying for services, you know, kind of like doing photos only at cost. That's bad revenue for sure. But it can be improved. So I want you to write down what's your revenue last year, what you want your revenue to be this year. You know, be realistic. Obviously, you know, maybe 5 million is realistic from you to do a 5x from 1 million. Let's talk. What's your AOV this year, and what is it next year? And when I say this year, I mean last year. I know I mixed a couple of these little words up. And what's your what type of AOV do you want next year? Like realistically, can you bump that $50 from 350 to 400? And then number of shoots this last year, and then number of shoots that you want next year. And you know, let's try to run through this a little bit quick because this is not the important part. This is just for us to like just put some things on the map of like this is where I am, this is where I want to be. And this is more surface level. It's not really what's going to move the needle. This is just like a wish list and also a quick audit. What do you personally want to make this coming year? How much did you take home last year? Nothing to be ashamed of. Obviously, like I've had tight years where I personally didn't take home much, but there was one year I took home $65,000 and aerial canvas grew from a quarter million to 1.7 million. I'm not complaining. I was building a lot of equity. I was making a lot of sacrifices. And then, you know, simply like think about is what you have enough? Like what you have right now and what you are going to get next year, is it enough? Like if you hit that 20K month take home or you make 250K next year, are you going to be thrilled? Or are you going to be complaining, "Oh, I didn't hit 300. I wanted to hit 300." You know, there's always more. But I've found out in the last year I have more than enough. I can retire personally, but you know, I love doing this. And then really think about who's on your team supporting the business. List your current team, and then let's talk a little bit about your dream team, your next key hires. Is everyone having enough time to do this? I didn't, you know, role play with Adrian or anything to know how long it takes to type things out or copy and paste a couple things. And if you don't know, you can fill this out later. You know, this is not the important part. This is like the part I want to kind of run through quicker, and then we're going to get to the more juicy bits.
I guess I'll fill it up later because I'm halfway there.
All good. All right. I'm going to give everyone another like 20 seconds to just catch up. I know I might be zooming. What's up, John? Good to see you. Much love.
Good to see everybody again.
We gotta get you dancing on the dance floor one day, once again. That was epic. uh, all right. And what do you personally want to spend your time on doing day to day? And the reason why I asked this question is, are you trying to go to the club and go to the beach? Because that's fine, but you're not actually working. This is a work question. At one point, I was going to club and my whole team lost respect for me, and I should have communicated, hey, I'm going to just take time off and go to the club because I've been working a lot the last 3 years. And I went to the club a lot. um, but what do you personally want to be doing? Is it productive? Is it revenue generating to the business? Is it your highest value skill that you can get paid for? I think as a owner, you have a duty to step aside as an owner and let your team do its thing and just own and profit passively. But if you're going to be an operator, is what you're doing productive? Is it high level shoots, shooting luxury only, and training your creative specialists? Is that your main focus day to day? Is it, hey, I'm gonna just get my creative team on autopilot and I'm going to go ham and go to every open house, every networking event, every brokerage. I'm gonna cold call every top producing agent. I'm gonna ask for introductions like nonstop to anyone they know that runs a business, so I can try to tap into marketing, being a marketing vendor for every company locally. And then, what are your dream rewards this coming year? There's a few of us out there, not everyone. We suck at taking care of ourselves. If we work the most in the business, if we put in the most hours, and if we're like the VIP, if we literally had another version of us, that person would be the CEO. Would you not take care of them? Would you not compensate them well? Would you not encourage them to go on vacation, so they don't burn out? Would you encourage them to drive a nicer car so when they go to work every day, they're vibing, they're vibing into the office, they're vibing going into a nice luxury listing, not driving you know, a beat down car that realistically we're in real estate. There's a lot of vanity in this industry, a lot of white BMWs. You will be judged if you're driving a beater. So, our best creative specialists got paid 130 plus thousand this year at Aerial Canvas. They put in a lot of overtime. They're definitely not driving a beater, I can tell you that. So, what are your dream rewards? It's important to reward yourself. And these are going to be the rewards for the milestones that we hit. We set that revenue goal, we set that profitability goal. If we hit, 3 months back to back, that's tracking the, let's just say 1 million. Maybe don't go too crazy and buy a Rolls Royce or Lambo, but definitely consider brand new Tesla. Pump my Tesla stock. Let's go. And so these are just some thinking questions that like. It's not to overwhelm you, but just at a glance, like you should kind of see an answer. You know the answer. We're trying to find the truth here. How many hours are you guys actually working on the business? And I know this changes, and I know some of us 4 months ago were just neck deep in shoots, being on every shoot. But obviously, that's just a week, that's just a month. December, most people slowest time. Yes, if you want to enjoy time with family, do it. Commit to doing it. Kudos to you. Like that's awesome. It's time well spent for majority of people. But with the time you have, with the time that you are paid by your own company as an operator, what did you accomplish? When do you expect an ROI? Do you have clarity on that? Do you know that, hey, I know I'm gonna eat, like some investment right now, hiring a new VA and training them up, going through PM Accelerator, whatever. But hey, November or March, come March, they're gonna be rocking and rolling. They're gonna get me back my 20 hours a week, and they're gonna be able to help me manage 50K worth of deliverables every month. It's very clear, like this person serves this role and is gonna start creating an ROI with me. Like I'm only gonna pay them $1,600 a month, boom. Like they're gonna be driving a lot of value. It's 1,600 to 50K. It's like 3%. Hours per week spent on low value tasks. Guys, I was talking to an agency owner 2 weeks ago. He was still editing, and his complaint was no one can edit as good as his videos. And I literally looked at his videos. I'm like, bro, there's like 50 editing agencies I know that can output this. You just have to be committed to to transferring this task over and doing a little bit of QC and a little bit of feedback. How long have you been thinking about doing X, Y, and Z? Thinking is so expensive, guys. Like just thinking. I think too much. It's exhausting. I'm just admitting defeat at this point. I need to stop thinking and start doing. When I do, I get clarity. The decision to act is the result, right? The simplest way I can put it is the decision to buy Bitcoin at $10,000 is the result that you got today. But it was a decision to click buy. It's the same thing with your business. A decision to hire, click brokerage partnership, unlocking that this week. Click watch video. I'm gonna get this done this week. No excuses. Right? It's a decision to act. It's a decision to just move. It's a decision to show up. It's a decision to put something on your calendar. What's your current AOV? Are you proud of it? Can it be higher? I know a lot of us at one point, when you see other agency owners at like 700 AOV, 550, you're sitting at 300. I'm not here to shame you, but that's pretty low if you're at 300. You're selling one ply toilet paper if you're at 300, like 200, 300. You you can get rich doing that, but it's a different business model, obviously, than a lot of stuff that we support on selling higher ticket, but it's doable. There's companies doing it. I can tell you they complain a lot, but you can get to a point where it does also get on autopilot. What projects have you started that you should finish? Because like a website, like, oh, I've been working on it, working on it. I've never seen the light of day. All that work is not getting you, it's like cooking a chicken 60%, guys. Can't eat that chicken. No one's enjoying the chicken. What the fuck? Finish cooking it, right? It's like same with projects, right? I'm guilty of this. I'm pretty much looking at myself in the mirror, like I started this project, this AI project. I'm kind of stuck. I need to finish it or cancel. Just eliminate it, get rid of it. Hey, it was a good idea at first based off these new findings. Doesn't serve us anymore. We're going in this direction. Commit to canceling it. Website project, I was stuck, working on it for a long time, but until it got deployed, launched, our clients started saying, "Oh, really like your new website." We see the average order value go up a little bit because, like, I guess we have a more luxury vibe. We're like, oh, kind of finally works. Finally getting me at ROI. What are you doing daily that someone or something else, like a automation tool, whether it's like AI photo editing or Zapier automations, should be doing? I found myself reminding people of showing up to meetings a while back. I'm like, dude, I gotta automate this. Open up Calendly, make sure I automate it. All right, so we're gonna audit your business because I'm gonna make this assignment fairly simple. Those were some open-ended questions for you guys to really consider, write down, and not overcomplicate. Each one of those things should lead you to one good decision, one action that you can take. Everything here is just like everything that we're talking about should lead you to decide or undo one thing, fire an employee, fire a um, client that's not good for your brand or business. Maybe give someone a promotion because they deserve it. It's about time. Like that's a conversation I had with my aerial canvas leadership team. They're like, we want to make more, and I'm like, I want you to make more. And we talked about how we can get them to where they want to be. Like I'm like, hey, this is exactly how you get to 135. This is how you get to 160 base. They were asking for 160 base, which is pretty high. Like I gotta figure some stuff out at 160, but we found a middle ground, and I want to take care of them, and I want to make sure they're rewarded. So, three big categories: your team, your product, and you as the operator. If you were the owner of the business that owned RE Creative Visual stock, and Nima is the operator, that's you, right? Would you like you're the, let's just say, the number one employee, like the all-star, the manager, the director, the CEO, whatever you want to call yourself. These are like kind of three really, really big business pillars that I want everyone to audit. And as you go through your form, rate your team from 1 to 10, rate your product from 1 to 10, and rate your ass from 1 to 10. If you think it's great, then you're 10. But everyone, like I beat myself up unnecessarily sometimes, but on a good day, on an average day, I know I'm an 8. I know I can improve, but I know I'm not like shying away from doing the things I need to do and showing up the way I need to show up. And then write about the good, like acknowledge the good, guys. Like this is not just us auditing and telling everyone they suck. What's going well, dude? Like you got team members, they're handling everything, they're doing great stuff. But what's bad? Like, do you have a team member that's been acting up? And then what's the ugly truth that you need to face? I've had multiple consultation calls in the last couple weeks. One with Santiago, and he was like talking about a few of his team members, kind of like trying to grab it too much, and he's like forcing a transition from this role to this role, and he needed a project manager. His project manager quit, so he took this designer and made him a project manager, but he's not good at project management. I'm just like, bro, you gotta just look at the ugly truth. You gotta just end that relationship. You're forcing something that shouldn't even happen. That's the ugly. You have to be like, all right, so I have this uncomfortable conversation, or in 6 months, this shit gets really ugly. My clients are pissed because this guy's not doing a good job. I'm upset. I'm stressed out. I also paid out of my ass way too much, you know, to keep this person around. That's the ugly sometimes. Same with the product, guys. Don't be delusional. But if your product's good, you should know. I mean, we're all like visual artists here. Like, if your product's like a 9, if it's like the type of video that gets tons of views because it's just has the best effects, the best sound design, the best color grading, the best house, the best agent. Product's sick. But this is like your product overall, like, because maybe your flagship video is insane, but your average video that you crank out is like not what you advertise. Don't be like that McDonald's ad where the burger looks so good and you get it and it's just like a soggy bun and you're like, what? You know? And so rate your product. What's going well? What's going good? How's it perceived? Clients are referring you, saying it's like the best money they spent. It's good. But then look at the ugly and the bad as well. Some people are, a little bit delusional. They're like, oh, my clients are so cheap, they're not willing to pay $1,000 per video. And we're like, what do you show us the video? I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't pay $1,000 for that video either. Even if I were rich, I had just tons of money to throw around as a rich agent doing $30 million of listings. If you don't have a good product, you just can't sell it. And then you, right? Like we're gonna dive deeper into you in a little bit because this is like the theme. Like our business, our product is a reflection of our standards and our how we choose to operate and live and act. So what's the good? What's the bad? What's the ugly? You can just jot down some notes. We're gonna keep moving. All right, this is a you audit because I think the most valuable resource is energy. There was unlimited energy, like servers would be relatively cheap and free. Like you wouldn't even have to pay much for anything. Like food can be grown, unlimited food can be grown because they can just put lights everywhere and manufacture unlimited buildings because energy is free. So energy is very important, but we all have currently a limited amount of it. And so where's your energy at? Similar exercise, your mental, your physical, your spiritual. Rate it from 1 to 10. Write out the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, it's a truth that you have to face. You can't lie to yourself. You ain't fooling anyone. And if you, well, one time I had to look myself in the mirror up and down. I'm like, bro, you got a belly. Time to hit the gym. That's my version of bad. But the ugly is like, dude, I'm 35 in my mid 30s. If I don't choose to get in the best shape of my life and like work on that, it's only downhill from here. I can't count on my genetics anymore to Asian don't raisin. It's only going to get me so far, right? And then spiritual, whether it's with God or, with uh, whatever religion you choose to um, believe in, or if it's just something more Buddha or just nature. How's your spirituality? Are you grounded? You're introspective? Out of these three, there's going to be one that lags a little bit behind. Maybe you're perfectly balanced. Who knows? Maybe you're 7 across the board. Awesome. But for me, when I did this first, my physical was at like a 3, and my mental was at an 8, and my spiritual was at a 6. When I focused on my physical, everything else was lifted up because the one that gets the lowest score here is realistically the one that's really dragging you down and kind of anchoring the other aspects, the other pillars that could help you achieve your potential. And for those who are, about working out, we know it helps with mental clarity. We know it spiritually, it helps me because like when I don't exercise, I'm just in my head. When I work out, I'm just like, wow, like I feel more grounded and feel more relaxed and feel more, close with the higher power, with God. Feel more present. I like everyone to put in the chat what is the one that you need to work on the most. It's going to lift the other ones up. Is it physical, mental, or spiritual? Thank you. And we'll help. We're here to support each other, right? Like if you see someone that you feel like you can support them on physical and you got your mental down, reach out. They're on Slack. You guys can be buddies and talk about like what's worked for you. It's nice to have a buddy system. All right. Everyone finished with the audit. Hopefully we're good to move on to the last and most important part, which is a calendar audit, guys. Like if for those who are running an agency, right? if you're doing, let's just say at least 30 shoots a month, if it doesn't exist in the calendar, is it going to be shot? Are you going to just remember the address? You remember to show up? You remember to do X amount of services on a call that they booked 2 weeks ago? It's a rhetorical question. Obviously, you're not. It's the same thing with your life and your habits and everything else. So let's talk through this. Let's open it up. This is just like a who's done this. So use the chat. Who here has a list of what they need to work on or prioritize? This can live anywhere. Partner Success Hub, Google Sheets, a notepad written down on something like a whiteboard. Give me a yes or a no in the chat. Yes, but there's always a but, John. There's no buts. Usually in your Slack DM, you make a checklist. Okay. Eh, I would say, if you chose a weapon, during a zombie apocalypse, the Slack DM is kind of the equivalent of a baseball bat. It's gonna get you somewhere, but not too far. It's not the worst tool. Whiteboard, yeah, whiteboard's great. I know some people love it. Nemo, you do it daily. Okay. So, guys, if you don't even have the list, you can't do anything else, right? Like nothing, like the list becomes the calendar events. Who calendars and time blocks to get these things done on the list? Is there a dedicated session every week, every day? Do you put something the night of what you want to work on the next day? Do you actually take it seriously? There's definitely some recurring time blocks like exercise at 7 a.m. that I keep skipping, So I need to find something that works a little bit better than for me. I am committed to a squash 2-hour session tomorrow with one of my colleagues. Yeah. It's easier when you have a buddy and kind of make a commitment to someone you can't really back out of. They're like, what the heck? I thought we were playing, right? They show up to your place. Same with the gym buddy. That helps. Or a trainer if you have a weird schedule. Who checks their calendar at the start of each day? Some of you guys actually might have some, second layer habits that can help you if you just kind of this is kind of like sales, right? Blocking stuff off and prioritizing things and things that are work on the business. It's kind of like a funnel. You need to have your list and your calendar events and then your habits of checking your calendar and then, you know, getting it done. Yep. Corey, love it. Corey lives and dies by the calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it won't happen. Guys, if I need to get something done, I put it in a calendar. If it doesn't get done, I look at it at the end of each day and I drag it over to the next day and I keep dragging it over. That's my little personal hack because I have tried like automated apps and kind of gets too crazy for me and never really like acclimated to how automated it's trying to make my life, which kind of feels like a lack of control when I leave it up to AI to organize my life. But sometimes, AI does get pretty far. I've been getting a lot of ads for these AI calendar tools, but I'll let you know if any of them rock and roll for me. I mean, this is what my calendar looks like on an average week. It was a little bit slower this last week, but it's still like 70% of this for this week as well, even during the holidays. But I did have back-to-back meetings. But one thing I want you to observe is sometimes the meetings are just like open-ended. It's nice to have your calendar event be specific, right in your calendar. Like literally just have a reoccurring time block that floats through that you have to move around. I think that's a cool concept that I encourage everyone to try. Reoccurring every Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, an hour and a half, 2 hours working on the business. If you can afford to do so because you have a team, do it, right? And then in that reoccurring time block, just link to a Google document, link to your partner success hub, and work off that each time. Or if you want to get specific, literally title the event, get XYZ done. And have some fun with it, guys. We talked about rewards. When you do something well, you should reward yourself. all right, if I get this done, I'm going to be able to choose wherever I want to go tonight for dinner. Hey, if I get this done before the end of the month, I'm going to buy myself the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. If that's what you want. Right? Like, don't just buy yourself like I know a lot of us, get joy out of buying stuff because, for me it's like I like retail therapy. I'm like buy stuff. I feel good. But like if you can tie it into something that kind of helps you, like you gotta treat yourself. We're all humans. We're all animals, right? We have a reward system. It's like dopamine as well. There's a reason why we get addicted to social media, why we're addicted to things that feel good. Train yourself. Reward yourself to feel good after you get shit done. Write down those things. Like I want everyone to drop in the chat, hey, next time you get a significant thing done, what is one reward, let's just say $100 maximum value, that you will treat yourself to? Is it a massage? Is it a dinner, with your best buddy at the steakhouse? What is it? Waiting for some retail therapy, $100. I love it. Let's more importantly, okay, great. I'm seeing the prizes come out. Top golf session. What's one thing that you need to do? You did a business audit, right? You saw the ugly stuff. Maybe it's the ugly stuff that you need to address right away. Maybe it's the good stuff. Maybe you double down on good. We got two brokerage partnerships. I want one more. What do you need to do to get this reward? And literally put it on your calendar right now. Like, I'm gonna do this with you guys, right? So, let's see. All right. So, my reward will be, hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go order my wife and I a massage. We're gonna do another. Anthony, actually, Anthony, my business partner at Outsource Plug. You guys might know him from Apex Operations. He did a recent workshop on builders and SEOs and websites and content retainers. He bought my wife and I a massage. It was a super nice experience. Two ladies came with like massage tables, rolled out everything. My dog was jumping on me during the massage. It was hilarious, but it was a good time. Um, so what's the next thing I need to do? I know I need to I need to actually prep for the next mastermind. I want a lot of lead time this time. I don't know if we're doing one in March this year. I think it's too tight. But we're definitely doing another one November. So, I want to start initial planning for mastermind. Location, pending speaker list, uh, SOP breakdown of cool. There you go. I know I need to do that, and that was not a good time. I'm gonna put it Friday the 9th. I just need 2 hours. So if that doesn't get done, I'm just gonna move it to next week. And I'm gonna put at the bottom of that, guys, my reward. I forgot my reward. Reward is massage. Therapy for my feet and I. So I hope everyone did that for themselves. I didn't see everyone's reward that they're going to give themselves. I saw retail therapy and top golf session. Adrian, Don, what are rewards that you guys have for yourself? You know, under $100. You know, I'm in Colombia, so it's cheap. It's actually a little bit more, but you know, the wife just gets a +1 on me. I love to see it in the chat. What is it that you guys are going to reward yourself with? Is it a nice dinner? Is it your favorite restaurant? What is it? Okay, get more specific, Adrian. You can't just be like, I'm gonna reward myself with a trip and dinner out. Which restaurant? Who are you taking?
For sure. We always plan for that. I just being
Okay.
generic in the chat, so I didn't have to list it all out. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I want other people, you guys to think specific, right? Like specific, because the more specific, the more real it is, and the more you're likely to work for it, you know? I don't know if you've ever worked like a commission only job, but there's a few that I've signed up for, and I never know when I'm going to get paid. And I'm just like, I can't take this seriously. Rewarding yourself a small micro reward for getting something done that you block out on the calendar. Nice, Adrian. Looks like you. It's important you tie it to an action or a thing that you need to get done that you figured out from your audit, right? What you're working on. Because let's go back real quick to the audit, the calendar audit. You score your use of time for each category. Building the business. You know, we all commit 40, 50 hours, maybe 30 to working on the business, working in the business. How effective are you with your time? Are you crushing every waking moment that you allocate to the business? I think most of us can agree we're like at a 7. So it's like I take it easy a lot of days. I'm scrolling Facebook looking for you know, conversation to start, but I'm not finishing stuff I know I need to finish. And then family and friends, I think this is very important. Family, friends, and fun. You know, I think it's a part of the taking care of you, the enjoyment of life. These things are important for you to rate. Because if your friends and family and taking care of you is 2 or 3, I can promise you can never build your business at a 10 because they coincide. If you have enough reasons to show up, you know, because you know you're building the business for good reasons, for you to travel, for your family to eat, for friends to experience whatever it is you can invite them to, for you to have the confidence that you built something great. It all blends. And so rate each one from 1 to 10, 10 being the best it can ever be, on how this reflects from your calendar, guys. A lot of a lot of people tell me, you know, oh, I'm trying to, you know, take my family out, you know, to whatever. But they never schedule it. They never commit to it. Never gets done. Never gets budgeted. Gets booked over. I'm guilty of it. I've booked over business meetings on date nights because I didn't actually block out the date night. I just was like, oh, let's go somewhere for dinner. I didn't commit to it. Took a meeting with Tonimo. I took a discovery call with Tonimo instead. You know, this happened like a couple of weeks ago. And so, you know, I kind of suck at budgeting and blocking out time for friends and family. And I gotta do some makeup. Like in February, I'm gonna be off the grid. You know, I'm still gonna show up, but I'll be kind of like a 2 hours a day type of work mode. And I'm going to be traveling to Dubai and Asia, very likely, Southeast Asia, catch up with John Zhao at Tonimo, explore maybe Egypt on the way back. committing at least 3 weeks to do it. It's getting blocked off. I already made the first commitment, which was buying a mastermind ticket to a agency founders event in Dubai, and the rest is getting pulled through because I made a commitment, because I knew I had not scheduled enough this year for that, for how much I make and how successful I claim. What is success without fun? What is success without enjoyment? What is success without taking time for your family and friends? I have another agency owner I talked to. He's just like, I want to take my family to Portugal. He's been thinking about taking his family to Portugal for 4 years now. That's what he said. I'm like, when's it going to happen? How is it going to happen? What do you need to make for it to happen? Because he makes plenty of money. He works 2 jobs, even though he makes $500,000 a year. I don't know why he works 2 jobs. For what? So him and his family can one day go to Portugal? Do it today. Do it this year. I'm not telling you to just spend all your money, guys. Obviously you got to build the business and put yourself in a situation to enjoy. But know what you're working for. All right, we're just gonna open it up to the room. Hopefully you guys can all submit that. Once we see the answers, we can better, support you in this journey. We understand what's hurting. We understand where you need help. We understand, what we need to do as coaches, as a mastermind to better serve you. And so looking forward to seeing everyone's submissions, but down to open it up. I think there was 2 more questions on the form. Let me grab the form real quick at the end. And let me know if my pacing was okay, because I know filling out a form while listening to me talk sometimes is tough for even myself. Like I can't multitask. But yeah, we have two open-ended questions I want everyone to kind of think about. What's your biggest takeaway from today? What's your biggest takeaway from today? And we can open it up to non-text responses if you want to just talk about it. I think it's important. It's important to be able to talk about what your takeaway is. And I'm not asking you to take away a million things. There's probably 12 things that you might have spotted that you need to work on. But what's the one biggest thing where you're like, I need to work on this? I scored some shitty points. I outlined an ugly truth I need to face. Or, hey, things went really well here. I need to keep doing this.
Well, nobody else wants to talk, so I'll just chime in. But I just finished reading a book today, High Performance Habits. I'm sure other people have read it. It's a great book, but this kind of ties right into a lot of what I read in that book. But I'm going into year 6 of my business, and honestly, I've been hustling my fucking ass off for years. I'm sitting here struggling with what am I going to reward myself with? I really don't even know, because I've just been so immersed in my business and focused so strongly on nothing but the business. I'm like, what the hell would a reward even be? I don't even know what that is. Like, more work. So it's like a great reminder to wake up and smell the roses. I mean, I'm not not like totally missing from my family's life or anything like that, but I could definitely show up a lot more than I have been. And I've just been so focused on this is my last kick at the kitty, if you will. I left the corporate world and started my business, and this is my plan to retire. So I've been super dedicated to get this going, and it's going great. I do have a great business, but it's definitely time I start growing the team around me, and starting to act more like a business owner instead of just a shooter.
Beautiful. Here's my suggestion. Do you have it in your calendar on figuring that out?
No, but it's on my whiteboard right there.
Okay. No whiteboard, calendar. Calendar is even better. You
I
can
was putting stuff in
calendar
my
it to
calendar
look at
as we
your
were
whiteboard.
talking.
Here's my challenge to you. And a little quest. You know, you're getting assigned a quest. Your quest is to take your family out for dinner someplace nice. Let them know, hey, we have a pretty important conversation to have. Hey, I am budgeting. Let's just say you set yourself a goal, right? Like if you hit 45K in monthly revenue 1 month, hey, I am budgeting in an entire week off, so 2 weekends, sandwich, of 2 weekends, and we're gonna go wherever you want. You guys need to help figure this out. And the budget is, let's just say, I don't know how much. I know Disney World is hella expensive. I was watching a YouTube video like how much, for a family for a week is like 15 grand, is like 1,500 a day or something crazy, not
Oh god,
including
my kids
flights.
are all teenagers, man.
Yeah.
Disney's not Disneyland's not gonna work. But
Anyways,
yeah,
you make it a group activity, right?
yeah.
And you pod commit where it's kind of like a gym buddy. Like now your family's like, oh, you said you're gonna do this, right? And it sounds like, you could up a couple points with spending time with family and friends and also rewarding yourself. Hopefully that's like a 2-in-1 reward. And we're all about efficiency in business, so why not try to tackle two birds in one stone?
I mean, I guess
Can you block
the
that
one.
off? I just need you to block off the calendar event for the dinner and let
Yeah.
your wife and family know about it. And then you can reveal the quest to them.
Yep.
Money's meant to be spent, guys. Like you literally don't know what you're working for unless you spend the money. And spending it on employees, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like, well, buying more Pokemon cards when you have a lot of Pokemon cards, like it's great, but it doesn't really balance out life, right? Doesn't really help you experience more if it's just business, business, business. It's a great investment, guys. I would recommend investing 80% back into your business. Um, the rest, but still should budget 10% for fun. Can't take it with you. All right. What about you, John or Nima? What are your biggest takeaways? What's one thing
Yeah,
that you're going to change?
putting it on the calendar. I'm doing it on a weekly basis. I have to expand that one to the monthly uh, to be more organized with my task. Definitely.
Okay. We're going to put it on the calendar. What are we going to put on the calendar? What is the thing that you need to do so badly besides putting it on the calendar?
Taking care of myself for sure.
Okay.
That's number one.
And what does that
No,
mean? Is
every
it
aspect
gym?
of it. Gym, yeah, and the
Eat?
business.
Okay.
Sometimes I know what I need to do, and then I remember that, oh, 3 weeks ago I was trying to do this. Let's put it on a
Okay.
calendar so I can take care of it.
So can we calendar something right now for you to, I don't know, commit to, let's just, the gym might be more straightforward than a meal
Mhm.
prep or meal planning. Um, a trainer, a gym buddy, text 5 of your friends saying, "Hey, I'm trying to go to the gym this time. You guys cool? You guys want to hit it with me? And then put a reward, dude. Write it down somewhere on this gym calendar thing. If you hit the gym, let's just say consistently for 2 months, you're gonna buy yourself whatever it is next. I don't know what it is that you need to throttle, but like you need to find a way to reward reward yourself in a way that fits with your lifestyle and your buying
Mhm.
habits and what you're already going to do and what you can't do. If I don't hit the gym, honey, we're not going on vacation this year. So she's
She's
in it with you,
listening,
obviously.
so
you know
She's listening now.
Okay. Hey, I'm sure she would rather you hit the gym than the vacation, so she's gonna make sure both happens. Yeah. And you don't want her to be yelling at you every day. You're ruining our vacation plans. Go to the gym. Uh, anyways, you gotta you know your wife better, you know your family better, you know yourself better. Part of this exercise is introspection, right? Like Kevin acknowledged that dude doesn't even know what he's gonna reward himself with. All the money he's grinded for the last 3 years, he doesn't even know how to spend it. She's gonna don't be the person who dies with 10 million in your bank account. I mean, your kids don't even need that much, realistically. They need like 2 million. Now you have however long it took you to make 6 million was wasted time. You want to work, eat, sleep, shit, then die, you know? Like there's so much that life has to offer. There's a book called like Die with Zero. I listened to someone talk about the concept for like an hour. That was his like keynote presentation. I didn't read the book. But yeah, it's part of my philosophy is I'm gonna die with zero. Like I'm not gonna wait till, you know, my kids already have a family and they're old to give them money. I'm gonna be very intentional about giving them money when they need it the most. Through college, through high school, to buy the experiences, to buy the activities, the classes that they could benefit from. I'm going to give the money to my children so they can see it work for them. Obviously, maybe use a trust, you know, or some sort of vehicle where they're not just going to blow it on Vegas one night at bottle service, you know, for a week straight. You know, I know you can easily spend 30K a night in Vegas. But yeah, I want to die with zero. I want to spend it on experiences. And I'm saying this out loud because I do have a significant amount of wealth saved up that, yeah, everyone should have a rainy day fund. Everyone should have investments. But how much of that is being used on living, right? At some point, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. You know, if you're just getting started with building your agency, yeah, don't spend too much on yourself. Spend it on the agency. It's fine, but you should get clear on why you're doing it long term, what you're doing it for. I originally told myself when I first started my business, I was just like, I'm going to build a business so I can travel anywhere, go wherever I want, you know, have the business put passive income. And I did that like 7 times over. I did that with Fix It, with Aerial Canvas, with ACRE Seattle, with Market U, with you know, like Autonomo. Obviously, I'm a small shareholder in. More of an investor, but that's also paid for itself, you know, in terms of what I've put in and what I've helped build. And
All right, you've made it 90% through. So you've gathered all this information, you've taken inventory on your life, your business, where you're at, where you want to be. Now we're going to set you up for success. We're going to give away a free 30-minute consultation with one of our coaches that have helped agency owners bring on a team that takes care of all the business, that has helped agency owners double, triple their revenue to 50, 100K, even touching $200,000 a month. And you're gonna get a free 30, 60-day plan that's gonna help you map out what you need to do to really build upon your business and build that agency.
I lost track of doing whatever I want, whenever I want, traveling the world and having money just be passively flowing in my pocket. I like forgot that was the original dream. But I do have another dream, which is, you know, I want to help other people find a same footing for their own lives. That's why I'm doing this. Lennon finally bought himself a car. Very nice one. A Audi Q8 SQ, RSQ8. It's like the fastest one. It's like the one that has the Lambo engine. And boy, he finally knows why he's been busting his ass for the last 2 years. You know, he can feel it, you know, in the engine every day. He can feel it the way, you know, his friends and significant other give him a little bit of admiration that, you know, I think everyone can appreciate. Not to say your life's purpose shouldn't be defined and value shouldn't be defined by a vehicle, but yeah, it's a drop in the bucket for him. You know, the monthly payment on it is like just over $1,000. He closes a top producing agent. He already made that. All right, I'd love to hear some other people's takeaways, and we'll wrap it. Got Nathan or Anthony or Daryl.
So one of there's a lot of reflection from this session, and then also I wasn't in person at the last one, but I did watch the replay and go through the worksheet. There's a lot that just aligns with work that Nathan and I are doing together to try to set ourselves up for success next year. And one of the things is to fix our business model, because our business model, we've realized it's actually not profitable. And it's because we don't have clarity about all of the expenses. There have been some unexpected and then just some irresponsible overspending on certain things. And so we're just trying to get all of that in order. But then one of the other things I've realized through the process as well is that when it comes to the other side of it, generating revenue and maximizing our potential, I'm not holding people accountable. I don't have the type of personality and the attitude, but also the ability to keep on top of things. I'm super disorganized, ADHD, anxious, and so the ugly truth about me as a business owner is that, like, I'm actually not a good manager. And I've been trying to figure that out for a long time, but I've just kind of recognized that, well, that's actually not, that's, I can continue trying to improve and trying to, you know, kind of do things that are beyond the comfort zone. But at some point, I've just got to say, well, let's have someone else do that. So that's why Nathan is one of the reasons Nathan's here, and it's one of the things that he's bringing to our agency. So, you know, that's an ugly truth that I had to realize and admit to myself, but it's kind of liberating in the end. And the goal that I've set for myself on the calendar is that I am going to get to the point of 100% clarity on the income and expenses, because we're a long way there, but there's still some bits that we need to complete. And it's in my calendar to do that by Saturday, 10th of January. And if I achieve that, then I'm going to take my wife out to this fancy new restaurant that a ton of people have told us we should go to that we haven't gone to yet. So I appreciate this session.
Love that. And I'm not a good manager either. That's why I have my directors at Aerial Canvas, and they hold down the fort. As not a terrible manager, but yeah, just I wasn't effective because I promised people too much. I didn't check in with them enough. You know, I sold a dream, which I did a great job at, and very needed for a year one like startup. First 2 years, that selling the dream was definitely worth it. Year 3, year 4 was me trying to reverse all the things I sold people. Employees that were like, "Oh, you'll be a manager one day, and you'll get to hang out at the office." And then I had people, you know, that were managing, bragging like, "I get paid to shit," while everyone fucking works their ass off. Like, you know, that type of attitude. And it's just like that was my own doing, because you know what served me back then, you know, obviously needed to be tapered to some degree. And uh, luckily, I have people that are more realistic, that know how to set and manage more reasonable expectations, pay more. You know, I think I do a good job attracting other entrepreneurs that want unlimited upside and, you know, 10x, 2x this year, or whatever. But that type of, you know, that's not what the average, let's just say, employee is looking for. You know, they're looking for stability. They're looking for, you know, consistency. They're looking for, um, you know, a clear path of growth, but they're not looking to 3x, you know. And I think a lot of us have fallen, you know, potentially victim to being sold someone else's dream and or projecting our own values onto others as opposed to qualifying if those people are aligned or have those goals for themselves. I was given goals that I had for them, but that wasn't even aligned with their goals. You know, for some people wanted to work less, not work more and more and more. Like Adrian, you know, Adrian, for example, like earlier this year, I'm like, bro, you know, good job hitting 100K. You wanna do more this year? You know, let's get you a 150. And he's like, bro, I'm just trying to live life and enjoy my family and, you know, see my daughter grow up. And I'm like, ah, shit, you know, I'm just projecting what I want for them. And that's something I'm trying to, you know, shut up and ask more questions and listen and find alignment. Hopefully that helps you, you know, in your journey. But yeah, excited to see you, Nathan, grow with John and help him hold down the fort. And, you know,
Yeah.
he's invested a lot into ACRE as a resource. So you do
Yeah.
have access to all of those workshops this year. And if you need direction on any topic, feel free to, you know, just have John, or I think you might be, are you in Slack yet? You can just ping
Yeah,
us.
and yeah, for sure. And we've been communicating with Jenna, and she's been super great. She's very, very smart woman, very generous with her advice, etc. as well. And I actually just want to reply to John. I have no doubt that on the 10th of Jan, not only will you be having a nice dinner to celebrate, but you'll be having a couple of bottles of wine because of the clarity, and you're going to feel very good about the clarity. And fast forward to this time next year, and I'm sure we're going to have a great 2026 because we know, you know, the first step of the problem is admitting the problem, and we're working through it. And we do have a good team. We just need to manage them and all play to our strengths. So I have no doubt we'll do great. And Brendan, this as well as the first part of this, what would you call it, workshop, was actually really great because a lot of the questions, they just, because they were so explicit, it just brought to the surface stuff that's been percolating and that we kind of had presumptions about, and we kind of know things were. But when you kind of ask a specific question about what, you know, for example, you know, be honest with yourself about what project that needs to be let go. You know, you kind of go, okay, well, I've known in the background the XYZ has been percolating. So it's been,
Yeah.
it's been super useful. Thanks for that.
Questions can be very powerful. Thank you.
For sure.
And excited to see you grow alongside John's company. He's lucky. He's a lucky individual. He's got a great personality, and I know he identifies, you know, with anxiety and a few ADHD. Yeah, I think we all are. But John, you've created something amazing. You have a lot of clay to work with. You have a lot of cash flow to work with. It's just a couple tweaks, and I've said it before in a few other workshops. At 2.5 years ago, no, 2 years ago, at the start of 2020, at the start of 2024, Aero Canvas was going through a recessionary period where the market was pulling back, and you know, our team was not adapting quick enough. Our CEO at the time, as well as our management, were kind of clinging on to their positions, even though they weren't able to offer, you know, real value to kind of carve out a new path as a smaller entity. We fired too slow. We fired too little. We cut too not deep enough. So like kind of like if you have an infected arm, you got to cut like at some point high, way higher than, you know, you think the infect. I'm not a doctor, guys, but like you hopefully understand the concept, right? And yeah, we fired too little, too late, and on $5+ million of revenue, we were $500,000 in debt. Our line of credit was maxed. We had credit cards with 60, 70, 90K balances. And thanks to Sean and Fernando and looking at the ugly truth and looking at exactly what we need to do, who we need to put in charge, who we need to let go of, we paid off all of that debt in less than 1 year. This year we were able to turn a healthy profit. Still room to grow, but just know, you know, no matter what situation you're in, as long as you're willing to admit and look at the truth and be willing to make some harder decisions, you will be successful and you will prevail and you will climb the mountain, even if you get a frostbite along the way. If you're willing to keep climbing one step at a time, you'll definitely get there. There was another YouTube video I wanted to share that like hit home, but I'll share it kind of in the Slack community if you guys have some time. I know we're a little bit over. But yeah, appreciate everyone. Nathan, John, Nima, Kevin, Carrick, I saw you in here. Oh, that's a cool effect. This guy's got AI on his side. Daryl, Donovan, Anthony, Corey. Wishing you all a very happy new year. Don and Adrian, thank you for showing up and supporting as well. Grateful for everyone here. Let's make 2026 our best year yet. Let's not be afraid to have those hard conversations, because on the other side of hard conversations is exactly what everyone needs. You know, otherwise you're just leading people on, and we all know, like, we've all been heartbroken. Don't lead on an interaction. Don't lead something on more than it should. You're not doing anyone any favors. Don't lead yourself on, most importantly. Don't lie to yourself. Don't say, oh, everything's going great, health is great. You know, Cameron, run a mile. I'm talking to myself here, you know, so gotta work on that. All right, guys, gentlemen, ladies that will be reviewing the call. Have a great New Year, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and let's get going. Stay committed. Put it on the calendar. Reward yourself. Get into that positive loop. Know what you're working for.
All right, so you've made it to the end of this video, which tells me you're pretty serious about scaling your agency. You want to build the business of your dream, the life of your dreams. So we're going to do something special for you. We're going to invest back into you because we want to see you grow. We want to see you win. And maybe we can be along for the ride. So we're going to give you a free 30-minute consultation with one of our coaches that have proven to help dozens of agency owners scale, double their agency, add on to their team, really put their business on autopilot. So scan the QR code here or follow the link here where you can schedule a free consultation with one of our coaches. This is available only till the end of February. And if you know another real estate media agency owner that could benefit from this, send them this video. We're excited to keep helping you scale.